Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Den. So this is Coffee with Den. Goodbye 2022. We'll take a couple of weeks off after this, and we won't have any more for the rest of the year. So yeah, let's wake up and do things and talk about stuff. How you doing, John? Good morning.
Good morning. I'm having the time of my life.
You sound like it. You sound enthused. You
Yeah.
don't at all, but you know,
Just
good
just
vibes.
living every day as if it was another day in a string of days.
Well, that's probably the key to happiness. Um, there we go.
uh,
So there's, as usual, if you go over to Den.social and you find the coffee lair, there's a coffee with Den lair, and in that is a, I didn't size this the way I wanted to. Let's go here and do that now. In that, you'll find this post, episode 55, and there'll be a link to join the call. So right at the top, reply below or click here to join the live stream, and that'll pop you in to our little situation. And you can send us a message. Let us know when you're ready. We'll pull you up. You can also watch this on Odyssey and YouTube and Twitter, and there's links in there and stuff. And there's some reminders for things going around the Denisphere and links to those too. So, yeah, I guess that's going to be my intro for this week. I've been playing around with AI stuff lately. That's what I've been, John and I were talking about a little bit this morning.
oh yeah.
Yeah, last week we got kind of heavy on the conversation politically and stuff. So I figured today we could mess around and like see what technology can do, send it some prompts and see what kind of live responses we get, see what kind of stuff it can write for us. There's this thing called Chat GDP from OpenAI. And you said you've heard about it a little bit yourself, right? As far as like
Yeah.
what it can do.
Yeah. It seems pretty crazy,
Yeah, it's
and I'm
interesting.
excited for it. I'm about
It's
it.
I'm interested in like how it could maybe like solve some writer's block situations for me where I want to write something and I know what I want to write, but I just can't get myself started. So I could be like, hey, AI, get me started, and it will. And then I can go and edit it and make it better and that kind of thing from there on. That's what I plan on using it for anyway.
Yeah.
But I
Think about
figured
like
we could throw some jokes at it
yeah,
or ask it to throw some jokes at us.
we can try a whole bunch of stuff. I'm excited. I was just thinking about this. Like, what about like school? Like, people in school, it's like, I don't feel like writing that paper. And they just come in here and they're
Yeah.
like, I need a whatever.
Yeah. It's
All
gonna
right. So,
be it's gonna be used for that for sure. There's no way it's not gonna be used for that because think about like how much of an issue plagiarism is where schools have to go through and like send papers through a plagiarism detector thing and you know what I mean? See if like the words match up in an existing database.
is there
This
going to be
kind
like an AI detector?
I don't know.
Like,
This kind of breaks all that because it's not plagiarism necessarily. It's not like you didn't write it, but if it writes a paper for you, then it's
that's,
original, right?
but that's, no, that's still, so that's still plagiarism because you're saying that something that the AI wrote is something that you wrote.
You
That's what
handcrafted the
plagiar.
prompt that resulted in
That's not what,
the
that's, that's not how plagiarism works. I told it what to do, and now it's mine, and I wrote it. No, you still didn't write it. Uh, it doesn't
That's
solve
true.
plagiarism, but like how to catch it is like that because like you can't Google this
There's
on the
probably
internet.
patterns, yeah. In fact,
So
they can probably sell like right now it's I've got some free initial credits. I don't know how long they'll last. Well, maybe we'll use them up this morning. But you do it is a for profit like they make you pay for it. So they could also sell to universities, I imagine. They could sell matching papers to anything that their AI has produced to see if
yeah,
it's, to see if it came from them. Did this come from us? Yes or no?
but
That kind of thing.
why would they do that? Because then I wouldn't
For
want to
money.
use. But then I wouldn't use the thing to begin with.
Oh, yeah, I would probably just still use it for other stuff, I guess.
So I think this is interesting because what happens also in universities is if you turn in something that's plagiarized, the person that wrote it for you can get in trouble.
Mm,
So, like, if I were to pay somebody to write a big paper for me,
That's what this is
that
basically. Yeah,
person can get in trouble.
it's an
But
AI, but I'm still
but
paying for
who's
it
the
to do work
person?
for me.
Who's the person though? It's an AI.
Yeah.
It's
Does
not.
the AI
There's
have agency? Is it the handler is who gets
yeah.
sued?
When we go stand in the courtroom, I'd say I want to see my accuser. Like who? Where is the AI at? You know what I mean? Like where are the AI
Interesting.
going? I want to see the person that's suing me because there's nobody there.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
That's wild too. I'm gonna bring up I am for I am. Had some technical difficulties, but I think that's sorted out right now. And then I am could probably help us with some prompts as well. Ho
Well,
ho, good morning.
ho, 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 rake, rake, rake. Let's try this again. Good morning, guys.
You can hear us
I've
now though,
watched,
huh?
I've watched a lot of
Good.
Perry Mason, Maddox, and, Judge Judy. And I can tell you that an AI would be considered a corporate entity. And
A corporate
therefore, the
entity.
AI
Okay.
has that would be my.
Yeah,
I'm not a lawyer, but I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express once.
I've seen a fair number of Judge Judy episodes myself, and I could say that this bot could probably write an episode of Judge Judy pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
I saw
Probably
one
a Jerry
script that came out pretty
Springer
good.
and everything else. It's
Sure.
I
I guess you know what I could do is I don't know how many credits I have for this before I have to start paying for it. So I did one this morning, and I threw it over in the random layer, so you can go read that. But this is the first thing I tried was write an apology letter to my wife for whenever I was late for dinner, because I was like, okay, what can this thing do? And it was pretty strong. I'm not going to read the whole thing right now, but it was pretty strong. And then I sent it to my wife and was like, check this out. And then she said, well, you could have been like given it more information and told it to be more casual. And I was like, okay. So I changed it and I added how long we've been married and that she cooks salmon and to make it casual. And then you can see how much shorter it is, first of all, right? A little bit different prompt, way shorter, way less formal. I'm so sorry for being late for dinner tonight. I know you worked hard to cook the salmon and I hate that I missed out on it. I got caught up in a project at work and lost track of time. It even wrote an excuse for me.
oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, thanks, bot. I should have called or texted to let you know what happened. Completely forgot. Please forgive me for not being considerate of your time and effort. I will do better in the future and make sure to communicate with you if I'm going to be late again. Thank you for your patience and understanding. I love you and appreciate everything you do for us. Sincerely, your name. Now, people are going to use that.
Wow, no kidding. Next thing it's going to be, I'm so sorry my AI screwed up. No, it was my AI that screwed up. No,
yeah,
it was mine. No, yours. No.
that's like so good,
right?
and like it even has like relationship trigger words of like, hey, I promise to communicate better with you in the future. Like, I wasn't considerate of your time. Like,
Yeah,
those kind of things. Oh my God.
I was
That's,
impressed. Yeah.
AI could have, I'm telling you right now, AI could have prevented my first divorce. Had it just existed back
Which
then.
is scary because that's insincere, and so it has all of these other like maybe it's like I do mean these things, but I didn't think of them to say them at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So gosh, just think about like the implications of 10 years in the future, how much this will mature even more. And
Good morning, Hyperion Frequency.
Yeah, good morning, Hyper Freak. If anybody is on right now and wants to drop a writing prompt or a AI prompt into the chat, I will run it and we'll see what it comes up with.
I'm going to start a business. I'm going to tell everybody that I'm the AI, and they're not going to think that it's actually me. It's some AI.
Oh, like your AI is only we have it's only active during these hours.
Yeah.
But during those hours, you can send it a prompt and it will respond with a Turing complete answer to your
The,
prompt.
the server requires a
But it's-
lot of maintenance, and the maintenance is before 8 a.m. and after 5 p.m.
Mhm.
Off
Yeah.
on legal holidays.
and weekends. It's down. Server's always down on weekends.
Always. Yeah, that's when we do our most heavy training and AI maintenance is on the weekends. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's a very secure server that's in the Alps.
Yeah, we just turn it off sometimes, and you can't access it. And if you can't access it, you can't hack it.
The AI
Also, the server
currently is
takes a lot-
traveling through Mexico. Bad reception, and unfortunately, is going to have slow responses today.
It also takes a lunch break every day from noon to 12 to 1:30, because you have to like consider drive time to get to the.
To conduct the maintenance.
I
Yeah.
think you're doxing my AI right now, guys. Come on.
It's $1 per prompt. Go nuts.
All
right.
How much is it to use? Like
It is all right.
What's
So
the fucking credit? Like
So here actually there's a whole I'll just say it. This isn't going to be accurate because I don't remember the numbers, but what they do is they slice up your prompt, and some short words are 1 token, but some long words are like 3 or 5 tokens, and they slice it into tokens, and each token has a cost to it. So you can do, it's like up to 2,500 tokens at a time, which is like 1,500 words. And each token costs like 0. I want to say it's 0.2 of a cent per token. So it's pretty cheap.
yeah, so yeah, this will write anything for $1. It sounds
Yeah,
like.
yeah, it's pretty good.
That's
cool.
cheaper than like anything. That's so cheap. Holy shit! Like
Yeah,
you know those like
you got to go in and
AI
edit it afterwards and do some wordsmithing and obviously
Yeah.
personalize
Yeah.
it some. But yeah,
Tim
Well, that's
Pool
what-
had an AI thing that would do images. It was so cool. I
So
don't remember
yeah,
the site, but
same
that was
same
phenomenal.
company. So it's
Oh,
OpenAI.
same company.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So I'm on chat.openai.com. This is their chat bot, Chat AI. They also have Dolly, which you may have heard of, and Dolly 2. And
Oh,
that
okay.
is
Yeah,
that is a text prompt to image creation tool.
That's the one I think they were talking about. Yeah.
Yes.
It was so cool.
And there's also an open source one called Stable Diffusion, which is on GitHub and completely free. And you run it on your own hardware.
Neat.
In fact, I'll be setting up, I should have a few weeks ago, but I haven't yet. I've got the hardware to run it pretty well, and I'm going to set it up at home here. And I was thinking that it would be cool and a good learning project for me to set up a spot where you can pay for AI images with Matter, for example, that you earn on
nice.
Den, where you can be
Nice.
like, yeah, here's 2 Matter, make me an image of a unicorn in space or something.
I can't even. I went to like try to like log in and go to the site. It won't even let me go to the site right now. It says that there's too many people trying to log in
I
or sign up.
better hurry up.
And it's like too many people are trying to log in or sign up right now than we're comfortable with. Like,
That's how popular this show is, John.
I'm real busy. See, I can't do this, John, because I'm online with you guys. So it's really me in the background.
gotcha.
Well, before it decides there's too many people trying to log in, I'm already logged in.
Yeah.
I want to challenge it a little bit though, and I thought jokes are hard, right?
Oh,
Let's try to
sarcasm.
write a joke or sarcasm, right? So I'm not good at even thinking of jokes, but
I heard sarcasm was really difficult for AI.
Maybe.
I don't know.
What if we write a joke about a dog in a park? You think that's a sufficiently difficult
Using
prompt?
sarcasm? You gonna put sarcasm in there, or
Use sarcasm like that?
I guess.
Yeah, let's go with it. I'm
What do
gonna
you
try
think?
it. I'm gonna try it. Here we go. So it's thinking, and it's gonna write it for us.
I have a joke.
Why was the dog sitting in the park all day? Because it was a park bench. I don't know.
That was bad.
Maybe
So
the park bench itself is in the shape of a dog. Yeah, that wasn't great.
I don't see the
joke,
sarcasm. I don't get the sarcasm at all.
Yeah, try again.
my joke. So my joke is Did you hear about the dog in the park? She was a bitch.
Wait, what?
Did you hear about the dog in the park? She was a bitch.
She was a bitch. Yeah, that would have been good.
See?
You're
That's
better.
sarcasm.
John's
There's no
better than
sarcasm in there
AI.
too.
Bring it on, AI
That's the
jokes.
contest.
I got this. This is
That's the
I promise
contest.
also.
John
Yeah.
or AI.
Oh,
I will
wow.
out AI jokes.
And
It's
then
like a
people
rap
get to
fest.
vote on whether it's like came from an AI or it came from John. You both get the same prompt.
And just to be clear, this is coffee. This is actually coffee.
We don't judge.
I know. Dakota bought me a new espresso machine, so I'm going crazy.
For those listening, let's read this joke.
Why did the dog go to the park? Because it was the only place he could get a good bark out of himself. I
don't like that
think I
either.
get that. Oh yeah, there's feedback. Let me thumbs down. Oh, I don't have time for actual feedback. Never mind. I just thought it was I thought it was like a Pandora, like, the song button or something. All right. Different prompt. Either one of you.
I can't believe you didn't provide energy on that one. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Am I competing with this AI or what are we doing?
Oh, do you want to do that? Okay. Yeah.
Oh, so, I'll do whatever. You tell me what you want.
That's great because you're good at jokes. So I am. Let's get a prompt for a joke. Can't be a dog in a park. That didn't work.
Something about year end. That's what our show is entitled about. The end of
okay.
And
write a joke about the end of the year.
There you go.
All right. I'm gonna wait for just a moment for John to think about that. So we're gonna have a New Year's joke. Okay.
I'm good.
Go. All right. Let's see here. Why was the calendar popular at the end of the year? Because it had a lot of dates.
Now that's good. That's good. That's good.
I'm pretty sure I've heard that one before. I don't know.
Copycat.
What was my joke? Shit, no, I forgot it.
That's all right. I'll give this positive feedback so they know.
Send it some energy.
Yeah. You can pass too.
I'm excited for. This is my style of joke, but whatever. I'm excited for the new year, so I can give up on the same resolutions I gave up on last year.
Yep.
But
I think I kept the sarcasm in there from the previous prompt.
Yeah. You carried over the sarcasm.
You didn't use the bitch, but you know.
Well, this one isn't about a dog, so.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do one. I'll do write a knock joke.
Okay. But give it like more than just knock joke.
About let's see. A knock joke about let's see. Mental health. No.
Let's go.
Okay. About mental
I got one for that already.
health.
Let's go.
Oh, all right. So bot says
wait, is that actually what we're doing?
That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Oh,
good
no.
one, good one.
Oh shit.
This is good. I got to print screen this for my wife.
All right, write a knock joke.
Why does
about mental health?
You just see this? What?
Here we go. All right.
Oh, shit.
Knock. Who's there? Mental health. Mental health who? Mental health be a better joke if you open the door and let me in.
Eesh, that's weak.
Weak. Womp, womp, womp. All right. Try again.
Knock,
while you're thinking.
Wait. It's my turn.
Go ahead.
Knock.
You can,
knock.
knock. Oh, who's there? I was reading. Sorry. Who's there, John?
Your therapist.
Your therapist? Who?
How does that make you feel?
Because that's what a therapist would say. Because your therapist is actually at your door.
There you go. That's good. That's good.
That's like an unjoke. It's like, no, really though, your therapist is here. Yeah, yours won. The Alzheimer's one, it said, is not great either. I don't think it's good at knock jokes. It might not be good at jokes in general.
I like the Alzheimer's one if they didn't have the last line. Like this is how it should be. This is how it should be. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's who?
Knock knock.
Yeah, who's there? They should have
Exactly.
gone on for like 3 pages.
That's
Yeah.
perfect. That's perfect.
That would have been great. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, that's good.
See,
stuff.
I'm
So
so
how far do you think AI is going to go, guys? What fast forward, say 5 years, are we going to be in trouble?
I think, man, therefore I am. I think trouble is a word to describe it. It's hard to say, dude, you know, like, God, I don't know, dude. Like, there's so much that I think, is similar to like an industrial revolution type thing.
Yes.
That is changing so much stuff and just the way things work and what jobs exist and what
requiring
people's
UBI
profession
or something
looks
like that.
That too, yeah. So like if there is automation and AI and physical AI bots that do actual tasks in like with hands and articulating fingers and things like that, like yeah, at some point you got to imagine that this is why socialism or whatever in Star Trek works. It's because they're able to, like, they still have laborers. It's just that that's all just robots and shit. You know what I mean? And so, like, yeah, they don't use money and they just conjure up any kind of cup of Earl Grey tea at whatever temperature they want. You know, nobody has to actually do the thing. They have a robot for it.
Well, you know, I always thought of, and you could relate to this being in the Navy. I always thought about, you know, the next generation and they're on the ship and, you know, the guy that's beamed down in the red uniform is the one that gets zapped and killed or whatever. But anyway, no, but in all seriousness, it would be like the privates or the you know, the newbies to the Navy that's on the ship, the grunts.
Yeah.
How does next generation Star Trek or, you know, or in those times, how does that work? Because there's obviously jobs, there's positions that these people have to fix whatever component on the ship to maintain the ship as it's traveling interstellar space, and it makes you wonder. Yeah. But AI, I don't know, in 5 years time, because technology is growing so quickly, so rapidly, I kind of give it a 50-50 shot, maybe, that it's going to have a dramatic impact on our lives. You know, we have like self-driving cars that are maybe 70-80%. But there's still the situation where it's bad weather, where some other person would have to step in with cameras. They have they have buildings like that.
Yeah, there's and also
the AI
think about
just isn't there yet.
Yeah, think about how AI works today. A lot of the if you want to call them improvements or not, that's probably an opinion, but think about like the way that the common average person perceives advances in technology is not necessarily even that they know about the technology. For example, it's convenient to some that when you log into your profile on Netflix, you get shows that you would probably like. And whenever I log in, like, for example, my wife's profile on Netflix, she gets shows that she would probably like, right? People don't typically think about like, oh, it's some advanced AI that's typing my personality and trending the different types of shows that I typically watch and suggesting something else. You know what I mean? Right. Or like Pandora's music genome project, where they will suggest music to you that you might like that you've never heard of based on what you've been listening to. Right. And that kind of thing. Right. So people will probably perceive it as, oh, this new company has this product that I like to use and it helps me. Not, oh, they're using AI under the hood to do all this. That might be a way that it goes. It might not be transparent to people that that's what's going on.
Sure. No, I get it.
I mean, unless it's a physical robot.
Fast forward another, say, 5 years beyond that, 10 years from now, I think we'll see significant changes, that are going to be driver's license will not exist, or you'll have to pay extra for the privilege to actually drive a vehicle.
Yeah, the self-driving thing is pretty interesting because there's obviously Tesla's doing full self-driving. There's also open AI maybe, but I remember a friend of mine when I was in Oregon had that hooked up to his car, where you just go and download a package and you buy a device to plug into there's an Ethernet port in the car you plug into. Mm-hmm. And the car already has like assist lane, what do you call it? Lane keeping assist?
Mm-hmm.
And so what it does is like, if it has lane keeping assist, that means the car technically can steer itself. And so what this does is it plugs into that, and then you put a camera like a dash cam, or looks like a radar machine or detector or something. And it, sure enough, it's like detecting the things and stopping you in front of the car so you don't hit it. And so like there's a bunch, there's like the open stuff being developed that it's going to be interesting because it's not a company with liability. It's just a piece of software saying use at your own risk and others people's risk. So it could be like if you read William Gibson novels or Neil Stevenson novels, or this one that I'm reading now called Autonomous, which has a good. It's great so far. It's got a quote from William Gibson and from Neil Stevenson on the front of it, which is cool.
My brother recommended that to me.
Oh yeah, my neighbor just gave it to me one day. He was like, "Here, check this out. You'll like it." And I'm a quarter of the way through it.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of a different one. I'm thinking of a different book. So, yeah.
But in those books, it's like a mixture of different corporations that have different AIs and different softwares, and there's also the the homebrew stuff where people make it themselves, and Johnny down the street in his garage came up with this one or whatever it is.
I use self-driving cars as kind of a barometer, if you will, to technology and that kind of thing. I don't know why. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not endorsing this car make, but Hyundai, for me, having rented a lot of cars and driven different cars, Hyundai for me is second to Tesla as far as self-driving capabilities. It's got a better lane departure system, the smart cruise, all of those things. It just
Honda, you said?
No, Hyundai.
Hyundai's done a lot of advancement in the last 10 years.
Yeah. It's amazing. They have
Hyundai,
own chip,
whatever it is. Yeah,
they have their own chip manufacturing. They're very integrated as far as component wise through the whole vehicle. Is an offshoot of their own company. So they kind of got their fingers into everything. But I was impressed. Even I would say 5 years ago, I rented one of their SUVs, and lane departure and all that kind of thing, smart cruise, keeping the distance between the vehicle in front of you. I drove 8 hours and it felt like 4. It was less fatiguing. It was amazing.
Yeah, I can see that.
It was amazing. And that's when and that's where I realized, oh wow, they're almost caught up to Tesla.
Yeah, I'm imagining Jetsons where I can just hop in the car and like get some work done, start my day, have some coffee, be on my laptop, type, do an episode of Coffee with Den while I'm commuting somewhere, whatever.
Or read your book,
or read your book,
right?
Dude, I get stuff
so
in
much
there,
time. So much time is wasted in the commute. You know what I mean? Like, it takes you 30 minutes, 20 minutes to get to work. So that's 40 minutes, at least 40 minutes, if not more, to get to work and back home, in one day. And then all the other shit,
I definitely used to use it. I used to basically drive for a living. I would have to drive like 3 or 4 hours to do a 45-minute job and then drive back, basically. And I would definitely use it for music, listening to music, just catching up on playing an album from the top, nice stereo, that kind of thing. Sometimes I would use a hair tie to strap my phone to my rearview mirror and then play a YouTube video and watch a YouTube video while I was driving.
Super safe.
Super safe, super safe. But I can
yeah,
see, catching up on reading and stuff.
Every time I'm in the car, it's listening to a podcast. I don't even listen to music anymore in the car. It's always a podcast. Say,
it's like podcasts and audiobooks now.
Yeah.
To try to get that's what I like about living in New York. I don't drive anywhere ever. So my best friend is my AirPods, and I just walk around all day and listen to podcasts or music or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And like in the subway too. Like I'm in the subway and I'm listening to a podcast on whatever I want. Usually it's something dumb and funny. I'm not really getting any real learning done, but
yeah, I'm imagining
nice.
When we go on trips up into the mountains or something, right? It's usually like a 6 or 8 hour trip of just driving steady to get up there, which would be so much less fatiguing if like the car was driving itself, that kind of thing. Because I think about whenever I fly, I'll do an 8 hour, 9 hour trip in an airplane, and I'll have a nap. I'll read a book. I'll read 2 books.
Yeah.
One time I watched the entire original Star Wars trilogy on a flight overseas. It doesn't seem that terrible if you're not worried about dying every second because you made a wrong turn or a wrong move or didn't catch something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I guess if, some people would be worrying about dying every second if it's an AI, I guess.
Hey, John, did you get your computer fixed? I was listening last week and about the show.
I'm still waiting for David to send it to me. I think the part got in yesterday.
That's why he's not here. He's working on that.
I hope so, man. I need that shit. I've been using this damn MacBook Air, which is great for video, but it can do video and word Zoom meetings and word processing. That's about what I use it for.
It's a utility. It's a tool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's really nice to walk around the city with. Can you guys hear those sirens?
You're not lugging it around. Yeah, but they're not super bad.
Yeah. It's super light. And that's what I love is how light it is. But I need something that can do the things I need it to do.
Sure. Well, all right. I'll twist his arm. Next time I'm talking to him, I'll twist his arm.
I'm trying to I got a whole bunch of graphics and shit I got to make for some stuff. I'm like, all right. I don't like using Canva. I'd rather use Photoshop and make it myself. So it's just kind of a pain. Also video games. Come on.
Yeah, for real, man. I haven't played a video game in weeks, and I'm itching to. I've been playing Fallout 2. It doesn't require a beast of a computer, but it's good. It's really good, man. It's a good game. Anything else we want to throw at this?
The AI thing.
Did you see the gravity response?
Yeah.
I asked it how gravity works, and it had a decent explanation. Yeah. It says gravity is a force of attraction between 2 objects with mass. It's the result of the curvature of space-time caused by massive objects. And then it goes on and details that from there. It's actually lays it out decently, which is cool. Very cool.
I want to see. So I've been writing a lot of sketches lately.
Oh, cool.
Comedy sketches. And I wrote one that I thought was actually that I'm pretty proud of the other day. In 45 minutes or an hour. It's only a 3-page sketch. And I was curious if this thing can write a comedy sketch.
Okay.
Is that going to be, is it going to print out 3 pages?
I don't know.
Or is it going to be all right.
Is there write a comedy sketch? Is that how you spell sketch? Yeah. Now, do you want to give it any additional information? Because we can say topic and then give me a topic.
I don't, honestly.
No? Okay.
I just want to see what it can do at with no restrictions. Whatever they think it's funny, you can do that.
The scene is a busy street during rush hour. 2 friends, Tim and Dave, are walking down the sidewalk. Tim, man, this traffic is insane. Dave, tell me about it. I swear, every time I come to the city, it's like everyone loses their minds.
Tim. All right, I'll play Tim.
Okay, go Tim.
Yeah, it's like they forgot how to drive or something.
Or maybe they just don't care. Suddenly, a car comes speeding down the street, narrowly missing several pedestrians and swerving around other cars.
Whoa, did you see that?
Yeah, that guy is a menace. Who says that?
He needs to have his license taken away.
Definitely. The car pulls up to a red light and the driver rolls down his window. Tim and Dave approach the car.
Excuse me, sir. Did you realize how dangerous your driving was back there?
You're the driver. Can you see the screen?
What? I was just trying to get to work on time.
Well, maybe if you didn't speed and drive recklessly, you wouldn't have to rush so much.
Oh, come on now. It's not like I hurt anyone.
No, but you could have, and that's not okay.
Fine. Whatever. I'll try to be more careful.
Thank you. And maybe next time, leave a little earlier so you don't have to rush.
Yeah, I'll do that.
The light turns green and the driver speeds off, nearly hitting another car in the process.
Ugh, some people just never learn.
Tell me about it. But at least we tried to educate him.
Yeah, that's all we can do.
And hopefully next time he'll think twice before driving like a maniac.
Here's hoping.
The two friends continue walking down the sidewalk, shaking their heads at the crazy drivers around them.
There's like no comedy there.
That's a sketch.
All right, can you send that to me?
Yeah,
You have to send me that. That was fucking awful.
That's great. That's great.
Hey, it's first generation AI.
Yeah, this is all still in development. It's still a work in progress.
It's fine.
I just know what? Forget that 5-year, 10-year outlook. Let's push that like further back, 20, 25 years.
Look,
After that sketch, I mean, come on.
All I know is that my job is secure. Now, like scientists and shit, good luck. But comedy writing, I'm good.
You're solid. Yeah.
That was great. And now
I'm gonna put it as a reply here to the coffee episode.
I really want to. I got a sketch idea that I'm going to use that sketch for.
Yeah, that's what AI is for. It's just for inspiration.
God, that was so dumb.
That was weak.
Hey, you're driving crazy. You should be more careful. Okay, continues to drive crazy. That's not what. All right.
I wonder if even Seinfeldish.
Would it be better if we gave it more direction?
It might be. We can try it again, and we'll come back to Hyperion frequencies thing there too.
All right. Write a funny comedy. What's up? You're not even in the office today?
Hell are you doing? I chimed in. You guys are reading like a 4th grade prompt.
Yeah, we're working. This is an AI that we're sending prompts to, and it's writing us. It's telling us whatever we want. We got it to explain how gravity works. We got it to write a few unfunny jokes.
It was fun. I went.
The apology letter was the best thing yet so far.
Yeah.
That I'm seeing. But we just tried to get it to write a comedy sketch, and it came out with a sketch. I think it missed the comedy part. But
is that what the apology letter thing you posted earlier was? Okay, I just saw that.
Yeah,
I was very confused. I like
that.
All
right,
I think it was a real person. I don't think it was AI. After this comedy sketch, there's no way that.
I don't think it does. I don't think it does comedy. Is the thing. We keep doing comedy stuff. Write a joke. Write a comedy sketch. What if you just write a sketch about a thing?
No, I think it. I don't know, man. I think you should be like be like super on the nose about it being funny.
Which AI is this?
Okay,
write a very funny comedy sketch in the style of Saturday Night Live.
And some of these do, like, if you put a comma in between, they'll use that as a different thing, comedy sketch in the style of Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, now period, and I can add more to it from there. Yeah.
Okay.
And I can say, like on the apology letter one, I went back and added stuff to it. Like in the beginning, it was write an apology letter to my wife, and that was it. Oh, for being late to dinner. But then on the next one, I said, okay, same thing. But then I added, she cooked salmon. We've been married for 4 years, and be casual.
Okay, that makes sense.
And all of those things seem to stick, to work. Oh. Yeah.
Hang on. You guys do that. I have to go grab a thing to show John why I haven't sent him his laptop.
Oh, good.
I cannot wait to show you the fan that they sent me to put in your computer.
Good.
Uh-oh.
I mean, not good. It sounds like it's going to be delayed, but
Yeah.
Back in 1 minute. I
um,
gotta let my dog out.
Fucking.
okay, no problem. What else do we put in here, John? So write a very funny comedy sketch in the style of Saturday Night Live, period. And then we could say, what else? Anything more you would put?
Make sure it's funny. I don't know. I like after that. I don't care. Like
Here's a
Okay.
flash drive
All right,
for
let's
scale.
do it. Let's do it.
Here's
All
a
right.
flash
what?
drive for scale.
okay.
This is what they sent me. And I have
Is that
already
too
dealt
big or
with
too
it. I've
small?
already ordered another one. But like, this is what they sent me. For context, he needs one that's like this fucking big.
Oh.
Yeah, I have no clue where the shipping warehouse screwed up, but I called them and they were like, "Yeah, bro, we're sorry." I was like, "It's fine. Just send me the right goddamn thing, please."
Oh man.
So that should be sorted in like a day or two, and I'll send it off to you.
All right. Thank you.
Sorry, buddy.
It's all right.
I couldn't
I-
believe it, man. I saw because like I saw the box and I'm like, wait a minute, how is that? Like, there should be more in there.
I think I'm gonna make my parents like ship me my desktop.
And
too.
they sent me two, and they're for like totally
Oh.
different sides.
So it's like, oh, one isn't big enough, but you could just put two together.
Yeah,
right?
just glue two of them together. I'm sure it'll not sound like a freight train.
Are both fans bad or is
Now,
it
just
one of them?
one is seized up solid. The other one's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, the one of them just doesn't move.
What air
This
and
one didn't
body
finish.
steam?
This one
Oh,
haven't
you
gotten the
broke it.
punchline. Yeah, we broke it. Air and body stream.
I did
Probably
that
because
one
the
of
output
all.
was too long. It can only be like 1,500 words. I don't know.
I feel like that's
But
the
it-
goal of most of our projects.
Error and body stream. It broke.
Ooh,
Do you want to try this one?
that sounds saucy.
What do you mean try? Oh, is this a different one they wrote?
It's Tim
What
and
do you mean
Dave. Traffic. Oh, that's the same one. Hold on. Wait.
That's
Tim
the
and
same
Dave in
one.
traffic.
Oh, it just deleted everything it wrote.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it.
Can you like write a short?
Okay.
Very
Write
funny.
a
Don't
short.
break.
Very funny. I think like people writing is just going to be like crafting AI prompts now to get the right result. Write a short, very funny comedy sketch in this. Oh, that's not how you spell scratch.
Scratch, right? A
In the
scratch.
style of Saturday Night Live. Go. Too many
I
requests.
think, for the love of God, please.
Good
give me a
Lord.
minute.
All right, I'll slow down. Fine, I'll slow down. All right.
I'm like, have you seen
No,
some
we
of,
can
like,
do.
the,
We can
the AI
leave.
imaging
Oh yeah. We were
where
talking
things will
about
turn like
that a
weird
little bit.
we make crazy pictures? Apparently, somebody has been using it to make like sexy anime girls, but out of pasta.
Yeah, so there's two main ones that are being used right now.
I'm
One of
googling
them,
that.
Do
yeah,
it.
What the
one
fuck?
of them is called DALI or
Mhm.
DALI 2, and that one actually has filters and restrictions on what it will create. But there's an open source one called Stable Diffusion that has got no restrictions on it,
Oh no.
and it is bad.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff that people have made on. Like, I've been to the good old world of 4chan lately and seen like
yeah,
they'll
there's
throw in like things that should not be generated.
yeah, there's things I've seen interesting. I don't know if it's the right word, but like
Interesting is
Yeah.
probably the appropriate word.
this never existed prior. But the art's actually really good.
Some of it's wild how
Yeah,
well
the
it's
depictions
done.
are disturbing, but the artwork is actually surprisingly good. Yeah. So Fusion, since we got to slow down on the chat bot over here,
Fusion.
we broke its brain, so let's slow down on it. SNL was too much for it, man. He was like, "Oh, an actually funny one? I quit."
Oh God! All right, that's going to spark some controversy. Is SNL actually funny these days?
Does it even know what SNL is?
That's a good thought.
SNL's always been hit and miss to me.
Yeah.
Like even like entire seasons sometimes where it's like season this is kind of like meh, but these 3 seasons in a row were fucking like revived it.
I
and then
hate
it
when
kinda
they
got meh
do-
again.
I hate when I talk to people and they have this like weird nostalgia. They're like, Saturday Night Live hasn't been good since like 1984. And it was like, no, you just remember like 4 good skits that all of us remember, and the rest of it was dog shit too.
And the rest of it was like racist. And
Yes, the rest of it was bad.
Like
Some
like,
of the
SNL
good
does
skits are
not-
still bad.
I need more
SNL does
cowbell.
not age well.
I need
Yeah,
more
that-
cowbell.
That was one of the funniest things that has ever happened on SNL.
That one's fine, but like, there's a lot. Like, if you go back and watch the old stuff, it's like,
like with Eddie Murphy.
Oh, and like back when we had Chevy Chase and people like that on it.
I was gonna say before Eddie Murphy, like the old, like the very first ones,
Dan
where
Aykroyd,
it was
John Belushi.
Yeah, it was a completely different style of show, like the formatting of it, and it's weird.
There was like
There's some weird shit.
I had a couple of.
You had a couple of what?
I have a couple of VHS tapes when I was growing up of like the 1960s, 1979 and 1981, and it was like the best of that. So that's what I thought Saturday Night Live was like, you know, John Belushi being a samurai.
I watched I've watched a lot of SNL, and I've watched a lot of stand up from like before I was born. I don't get the jokes, man. There's a lot of Robin Williams has a apparently really funny stand-up thing. He's wearing like pleather pants, and like half the jokes are like, okay, that's funny, but half of them are about people that were like
relevant at the
time or events that I don't even know about that were in the common conversation at the time. And so yeah, it's interesting to watch stuff. SNL, same thing, like they're making fun of current events.
All right, now
that I didn't experience.
I'm an old man,
that kind of thing.
I understand. I get those jokes in the current format. I just don't understand it.
I hate new music. That's the same exact guy.
Well, like sometimes that's warranted though. I wrote a short opinion piece on dubstep over in the music layer recently, and like it really went too far. In 2012, 2011, 2012, like it really, like everybody was, oh, have you heard the dubstep version of that song though? And like I went into like a hookah lounge and somebody was listening to it on their phone, which is the wrong way to listen to dubstep.
Oh my God.
Because it's all about that bass, no treble, and the phone is all about that treble, no subwoofers. The phone
doesn't know what bass is.
And they're listening to like the Lion King song, but the dubstep version, you know. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you know, and it was just like it ruined everything for like a year, you know. Like even Jonathan Davis of Korn, like got really into it. Co-released an album with Skrillex under the Korn branding. Wanted to change his whole like, this is what we're gonna do forever now. This is the future of rock. This is the future of metal is dubstep, right? God. And so Jonathan Davis is hardcore. They made a whole album. It's not terrible. I happen to love electronic music, and I started listening to that shit before it was cool.
Yeah.
And so it was weird to see it like rediscovered, like this new dubstep thing. Yeah. And it was just gritty drum and bass, like really nasty, wobbly, gritty drum and bass music.
I believe it birthed out of 80s music, to be honest with you. A lot of it's kind of got an 80s feel.
Just because of this,
but the new wave
stuff?
The new wave 80s from from Britain, and so that's probably why I really like house, trance. I listen to a lot of EDM, chill EDM.
Yeah, like I grew up listening to techno because I had an older stepbrother who was really into techno, and he had Fruity Loops. I remember. Software called Fruity Loops before it became FL.
Fruity Loops is that old. My God.
Yeah, so now it's FL Studio, but back then it was just Fruity Loops, and he was making music on it. And so I was listening to like Orbital and Diesel Boy and like just techno stuff. Mm-hmm. And then like it's interesting to see all the phases that electronic music goes through. Like in the late 90s, early 2000s, it was like dance music, club music was like Alice DJ and Benny Benassi and stuff like that. And it was a whole different vibe. And then, later 2011, 2012, it's like this like darkness kind of from dubstep. Anyway, I loved it. I sympathize with people that are like, music these days is terrible. Like if that's what music these days are, it's a dramatic departure from the norm. Yeah.
What year were you born, Dave?
I will not give that information up on the internet.
Are you kidding? The internet knows how old
I
you
was
are.
born in the mid 80s.
Okay, I was like, are you serious right now? You're an internet personality at this point.
Yeah,
bud.
I was
Sorry,
born in the
they
mid
know.
80s. I'm in my 30s.
I was born in
I'm like-
94, so like I
I'm
only
like
had 6 years of the 90s.
Mid 30s, I guess.
All right, I got 20 years on Dave.
All right. So you get the 70s jokes.
Yeah,
He seems like a pretty
skipped-
modern human.
I've been described as evergreen young.
Ooh.
I'm the kid that's in his 50s. It's at the grocery store, and it's got a big hill. And rather than push the cart to the rack, I climb on it and push it and ride it.
And that explains
And-
why we like you.
Here's an old man.
That's the
with
right way to exit the
gray
grocery
hair,
store.
sometimes a gray beard, riding a basket
Yeah.
down the hill.
Yeah,
that'd
that's
be
the correct way to traverse the parking lot.
Yes.
Is riding your cart. I didn't know there was a different way. Do
Yeah.
people just push them
Yeah.
with their feet on the
So-
ground? I don't know.
See, in Florida,
I like
we're
to-
just so used to the hurricanes pushing us on our carts that we don't even question
Put out a
it.
sail. Yeah,
I'm an anomaly. I don't fit anywhere.
I like to do that and then like use my feet as brakes on the two back wheels to steer. it.
Oh, yeah, that's intense.
That's what you got to
intense.
do because they're not they're
Yeah,
shopping
you-
carts. Let's be
What
real,
if
they're going
we-
to turn.
What if
And
we
then,
actually
then I
did
get
put a
the
sail?
store manager say, "Oh man, you're gonna break your hip."
Just be like, no.
Old men can do some incredible stuff, man. My grandfather, when he was like 80, was coming in from a fishing trip and forgot to tie off his boat and then got out and it went down the river. And without thinking about it, he like took off his hat but not his boots. And he jumped in and he swam and grabbed the boat and like a dolphin carried it back against the current to the dock and then tied it up and got it out of the climbed out of the water. And some dude was like, "Sir, how old are you?" And he's like 80 something. And he was like, "Dude, he was like 60 and he's like, I couldn't do that."
Jeez.
But it was like intense. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that he
I'm,
took the time to take his hat off.
Yeah.
At the airport, I big long stairs. I'm the one that grabs his, carry-on luggage and hoofs it, runs up the stairs with my luggage. Here's an old man with gray beard and gray hair running up the stairs. My other brother's on the escalator going up real slow, and I'm.
It's like, no, I gotta run.
That's just me. That's just who I am.
That's good. Being active is better than being, like in a chair, like I'm doing as we speak,
Yeah.
doing nothing.
And then I go by the old folks' home and say they serve real good Jello over there. That's my future home.
They serve good Jello over there. I'm ready.
Hey, so we got a good prompt from Hyperion Frequency here. Here's what
Cool.
I want to do. I'm going to roll a 1 minute alternate advertising on Den.social video. We can get some more coffee if you need to do that, and then I'll be right
Perfect.
back, and we'll go with that. Okay.
Cool.
All right.
The internet is broken. Business models and site design are entirely geared toward advertising and not the reader. On today's internet, advertisements are distracting, invasive, and overwhelming. In Den, the primary objective is quality content. Instead of ads, you may occasionally see a boosted post where a user has risked value to increase its visibility. Just like any other post, you can upvote or downvote to help evaluate the relevance to your community. The more engagement a boosted post gets, the less the booster pays. Depending on the evaluation process, a booster can get up to 85% of their money back if the post is well targeted and engaging. In Den, quality content is the primary objective.
And welcome back to
Yes.
Talk with Den. So we were talking earlier about AI and about the future and robots and automation and what that's going to do to people's lives a little bit. And this is related because it's about energy and it's about an endless supply of energy. Assuming that we do have a production fusion reactor, what are the implications of that? Hyperion Frequency quotes, in a breaking experiment, nuclear fusion finally makes more energy than it uses. Would the powers, and then he asks, would the powers that be ever allow the people to have access to an endless supply of energy? What could this spell for our current dystopia society? Will this bring us into utopia tomorrow? So I'm going to open up this article and see what it is. And we can talk about that. I know there's been some breakthroughs that I've read about before. I don't know about this particular one yet. I have not read it. It wants to sell us Pop-Tarts, though. I know there's been some AI assist that's given some breakthroughs with fusion, like how to shape the plasma loop or whatever you want to call it. And that's worked out pretty well. Looks like this one was published just a couple of days ago. And it has my favorite statement at the beginning. Scientists have. They're never very specific, right? Just in general, scientists have done this, or scientists say that, which is fine. Just my own little pet peeve. 1 a.m. Pacific, December 5th, researchers with the National Ignition Facility in Livermore, California, ignited controlled nuclear fusion that, for the first time, resulted in the net production of energy. And that's important because we've gotten fusion to work already. We just haven't been able to get it to produce more energy than it takes to run the machine, kind of thing. A 3 million joule burst emerged from a peppercorn-sized capsule of fuel when it was hit with a 2 million joule laser pulse. And then there's details, and it goes on and on. So let's assume that that's true. I don't know how long that lasted. Probably a few seconds or something is how it typically happens, just as a proof of concept. But let's say we're getting there, and it's real. Oh, you know what? It says how long right down here. Let me see if I can grab that real quick. Bunch of lasers shined on a dot. Poof, we got energy. All right. I might have skimmed over it, but let's assume that's let's assume that's real and very usable. So then there's the challenge of then scaling up to a production like fusion reactor plant, like a nuclear power plant, but a fusion nuclear power plant. And then let's also assume that so there's two questions, right? First part, what are the implications of that for society? Second question is, will the Illuminati shut it down?
Of course.
You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Okay, I have everything revolves around money and to money go up or number go up. But we're on the what are we called? We're on the petrodollar. The dollar is essentially the reserve world currency at the moment.
Yeah.
And everything is tied to the cost of energy. What's that going to do to the economy? It's going to be kind of like a spike up and a spike down, and then there's going to be some kind of reset that goes along with that, which is going to be phenomenal if we can have endless supply of nearly free energy.
Yeah,
I look
free,
forward
clean,
to that day.
safe.
I think it will happen eventually. I just don't know about governments being able to embrace it because it could undermine their power base. Their power base is also a big chunk of that is money, not just control of people, but money controls the world. And if money is tied to energy or petrodollar in this case, wow.
I can see one real example from just living in Florida. There's a big fight, and it's a push from the for lack of a better way to describe an entire industry, I'll just say like the legacy energy industry, whether it's fossil fuels and regular power plants and stuff like that, even like nuclear to an extent, but usually coal and oil and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. There was a big fight against solar rollout in Florida, being pushed by, hey, if energy is able to be produced in a decentralized, sort of free from the sun kind of way, we go out of business, or we at least don't sell as much energy to the public. And there was at least, I don't, have all the details on how that went, but there was at least some pushback, right? In the same way that there's pushback from like any competing industry. They send lobbyists to Congress and they say this will be bad for an industry, and then that means we lose jobs, and so it's bad for the economy, and they convince them to like stifle a particular form of innovation that's competitive to them, right? So I can see that happening with fusion.
Yeah, I
and
can
that being
too.
one place.
It's really an unraveling of our system and our society. I mean, think about it. Think of all the items that are in your home that are plastic based, which requires petroleum product, right?
Yeah.
And then the energy to get everything to the store, or what's it going to cost you to fly in a plane across the country? Well, the majority of the cost is energy, and the energy of the materials to build the airplane, the energy, to fly the airplane. And
that's a good point. It's not even the fuels, it's the energy required to produce stuff.
Right. Yeah. So, it's a giant upheaval economically, but once that smooths out,
yeah,
think of it like the Bitcoin chart, the spike and the up and down and the up and down, and there's no price stability. Well, there you go. You have no energy. I mean, energy is virtually free and endless. So
yeah, you have something and that's a good example too, because you have something. Bitcoin is something that like that's never happened before. It directly competes with money,
right?
In a way that for the first time has never been done before, and specifically, centralized or government money.
So who mines Bitcoin when energy is virtually free and endless?
And then, so there's implications there. And I was thinking, and we should probably talk about that, but I wanted to say also, this is why I think that electric cars are such a good idea, because it doesn't lock you into a particular energy production source, right? Like, I know Europe is experimenting with hydrogen fuel cells again, right? Like they were freaking 10,
Toyota
15, 20 years ago.
Toyota's gone hydrogen. They're putting money in hydrogen.
Yeah, and the reason that bothers me is because it just locks you into a particular type of fuel, And if you have electric cars, they can be charged with any type of, like, any source of electricity, whether it's fusion, whether it's fission, or solar, or wind, or tidal, or maybe we have some sort of gravitational based energy production, like stacking blocks for energy storage. Doesn't matter.
Sodium is going to replace lithium. So
that would be great.
Yes,
that would be really, really good. I didn't know that.
I just watched a video a couple of days ago about some new breakthroughs that way, just within the last week or two. It's getting so close now to replace lithium batteries.
Well, China's also working on and has prototyped and demonstrated thorium fission reactors, which also, it isn't sodium based, but it comes from salt mines. So if we can use sodium for battery energy storage and thorium from the same salt mines to make energy for like producing the energy in the first place to then store, that seems like a closed loop. That seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
Nah.
No, not so much.
Yeah.
No. Too disruptive.
Nah, I don't want any sodium.
You got high sodium.
One person got it.
We all have to take like medication, but instead of like radiation meds, like the 50s sci-fi thought it would be, it's like for high sodium.
You know what? Being on keto, I don't worry about sodium intake anymore.
There's a lot of salt in meat, isn't there? Or am I wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
I mean, a lot of people
I don't have to worry about sodium intake anymore.
What?
Keto is amazing.
Keto is low sodium?
Well, it's just your body starts processing, what you eat differently. And I get to a point where I'm not getting enough sodium. So I have to drink electrolytes every day.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I got a friend of mine that does. He like goes through phases of keto when he decides he needs to slim up. Usually when he breaks up with like a girlfriend, he'll be like, "Oh, got to go get another one. I better slim up." And so he'll do keto for like 2 months and be like, "I look great."
It's the brain fog, man.
I didn't know about the sodium.
That's the best part.
But
anyway, so John, what do you think? Do you think the world is going to fall into this endless supply of energy through fusion? We'll have sodium batteries and life will be great? All happens in 2 weeks in 2023.
I think we just come up with a new problem. So I don't think it matters. Like, it's going to be like, look, we've got all this energy, but we have no way to distribute it effectively. So it really doesn't matter. We'll just come up with like a new excuse or a new reason why this isn't working the way it needs to, and we can't just like all be nice to each other.
That's right. That's right. Just because we got free energy means we still got to build guns and tanks and planes and ships. And
somebody else wants our energy, even though they have energy, like, or they don't want us to have energy. So therefore, like, we'll just invent a new reason why we can't do certain things.
So they lost the war on drugs. Now it's going to be the war on fusion.
Yeah.
But that tracks with the first question. Like, what will be, like, it could be a bunch of like distracting arguments about why, it's hard to produce, and it's going like that's how we would experience suppression of the technology. Would be well-crafted reasons why it can't work, why it's unworkable or something, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's less likely that whoever they are, would come out and be like, we're saying this can't happen because we're the boss and you have to follow us. Like, it's more likely that there's going to be excuses for why it can't work.
Yeah. It certainly gets us closer to that Star Trek world.
Mm-hmm.
It gets us closer to that if we don't kill ourselves in between.
Yeah, I think like abundance of energy is inevitable. It's just a matter of how long it takes to get there. Because we even with the sun, like, there's just a lot of fucking energy in the sun.
All I know, even if we have a whole bunch of energy, okay, AI is still never going to write a joke funnier than what I can do.
Maybe next year.
That's all I know. Their sketches are going to be just safety videos. That's it. There's no humor in their shit whatsoever, and they're going to need me no matter how much energy there is.
Yeah. You know what might happen though, John, is society will get so involved and intertwined with AI that they will eventually find AI funny. Ooh. Nah.
Should I say, what are the implications? We might be able to ask
free energy.
Of free energy. See, free, I feel less likely. So fusion is expensive, right?
Well,
so they're still going to charge us for it.
But then it becomes endless. So then therefore the price would come down. So the initial creation of the fusion plant, I don't know.
It's broke.
It's broke.
There's too many people fucking with it right now.
We're experiencing exceptionally high demand. Please hang tight while we work on scaling our systems. Sounds like a job for Dragon.
They need to hire more of me. They need to hire more me's. No.
Yeah. Yeah. What is Mises, right? From that one cartoon.
Can't they just Meeseeks from Rick and Morty?
Yeah. There's a bunch of Meeseeks.
I feel like they need to, just get like an AI to do it.
Well, that's what they did with. That's how they solved That's how a problem was solved recently. That was the most, like 6 months ago or something. There was a breakthrough where it was like, oh, we can actually do this now. There's something about, you ever see a fusion reactor prototype? It's like a donut thing. Mm-hmm. And so they were talking about and so the donut is so that there could be a fusion, like plasma stream going in a circle basically. And it's electromagnetically focused so it doesn't explode and melt down and all that. and they were just having trouble getting it focused properly because there's so many like variables that are constantly you have to adjust things all the time constantly. And so they were able to develop an AI to just constantly adjust the settings to make the beam focused. And it was so good. Like they were having trouble, humans were having trouble just getting it into one focused beam. The AI actually split apart 3 separate streams within the same tube. They were stacked like a triangle, not touching each other. And it was like focused 3 beams in one thing. So AI is definitely being used to get over obstacles that humans haven't been able to solve or haven't thought of, or that kind of thing.
Right. So is 2023 going to be better than 2022? Was 2022 better than 2021?
I feel like 22 was better than 21.
Yes,
Personally.
I feel like that's also like not fair. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, most of the world was locked down. So yeah, like
that was
just
like an
a
easy.
little.
It's an easy one.
Yeah, it's like we didn't have to do much better than we did last year. There, you know, like.
Yeah, I didn't have to drive around with a document in my dashboard saying, "Hey, Alec, I know we're on lockdowns, but this guy's essential. Let him through, please. It's fine."
Yeah.
Like
There's
that
gotta
was
be
my
like
life
no
for
traffic.
a while.
There had to be no traffic at least.
Yeah. The scenes from LA where people were like using the highways as racetracks and stuff, and skate parks and stuff like that. Yeah, that was wild. So it's pretty easy to get better than that. 23. I don't know, man. I hope 23 is awesome.
Not for Europe.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to your report back when you come back from Germany and Czech.
Speaking of energy, actually, you know, continuing Hyperion frequencies thing here, there's a big question about energy and the cost of it and how that's going to affect everything in Europe right now, as I understand it. And I'll ask more questions while I'm there to the folks who live there. But just talking to my German side of my family, or going through my wife for that, about what's going on, I didn't realize that the effects are already being felt a little bit, but actually it's mostly subsidized at the moment. And more than that, it's the energy billing, at least for like residential and stuff, probably for corporate too. I don't know, or business. They give you like an average. They average out your energy usage over the year, and then they bill you a certain amount, basically, based on past usage, something along those lines, where the effect is that you don't feel sudden spikes. But what they do at the end of the year is they go through and say, oh, did that model work on the actual costs? And if it didn't, they raise the prices for the next year to compensate for it. So at the end of the year, beginning of next year in 23, there's going to be a lot of people who have reassessed energy bills. Mm-hmm. And then they'll find out what it's actually going to cost the consumer, the individual retail energy consumption, that kind of thing.
Well, there's just not enough energy, period. There's just not enough energy being produced, period. So it's going to go beyond a pricing model. And a lot of industry is leaving Europe, and it's going to be gone for maybe a decade. You know, BASF out of Germany just moved. They said, that's it. We're done producing chemicals out of Germany. This could be interesting. I'm looking forward to what you find out. Boots on the ground, shall we say.
Yeah, because I'm going to Germany, going to East Germany, and then I'm going to Prague.
That's so cool.
So I'll see 2 different countries and see what's up. I know, like, we rented, we're taking like a large number of the German side of the family up there to Prague. So we got a big ass house, relatively big. Anyway, that was part of the conversation when renting that place was, you know, are you planning on using the sauna? Because if so, I got to charge you more. Are you planning on using, you know, the jacuzzi or the swimming pool? Because utilities are outrageous right now. We got to charge you more. Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, it's winter. That's an extra charge because, you know, power consumption for heating or energy consumption for heating is really expensive.
It's forcing conserved energy use from a market perspective. because there's not enough energy, so they have to force with pricing a reduction use of energy.
It is crazy to see the difference between how my family uses like water, for example, versus somebody who grew up with a water bill. Because we grew up in the woods, dude. We had a well. There wasn't a water bill. Water's free. Right. So if you're washing the dishes, most people in my family, they just turn the faucet on full blast in the sink, start washing up the dishes, and it just runs for like 20 minutes constantly. You know what I mean? Just go. Just give me a stream of water. That's what I need. And that's kind of like the attitude, because it just is that way. People grew up that way. Water's never been something that was scarce. It's scarce or whatever. And then my wife sees that and she's having a heart attack. She's like, "Oh, like, come on, man. You can't."
I can understand with your wife, because I grew up in Flagstaff, Arizona, and water, was tight.
Yeah, I'm in Florida. We got the aquifer.
Snow,
had the aquifer.
Expensive.
Yeah,
I get it.
It's different. It is different.
John, when I was in South Jersey, sorry I never made it up there to look across the water at your building. I just stayed in South Jersey the whole time.
That's okay. That's fair.
But I thought of you.
That's nice of you. It was cold here.
It was rainy. Yeah.
Oh shit! We got some shit.
Hey, by the way, we got an LCP. It's the last one of 2022. Speaking
really
of the last things happening, this will be the last show till next year. We're not going to do one again next week or the week after. There's 2 more weeks, right? Is that right? There's 2 more weeks.
2 more weeks, I think.
Yep, 1, 2. That's what Microsoft tells me anyway.
I wanted to propose 2 this past weekend, and I got busy, and then I forgot about it.
Well, you'll just have to do it again next month. What were you thinking about proposing?
Oh, I don't want to say.
Oh, okay. You don't want to give somebody else the idea.
Yeah.
I think also Hyperion Frequency proposed that we change the winners from it's still number 1 by unique voters, which right now is Den's Got Talent, followed closely by a few more. But we were doing 5 and 13. Now we're doing 8 and 21. So the vegan layer right now is number 8, and then Pakistan is number 21. Cool. So if you're trying to predict what wins and you're trying to like move stuff in and out of a winning slot, you're looking at 21 and 8. So that's pretty close. So quotes, Pakistan, quantum computers, digital nomad, drones are all pretty close there. So we'll see what ends up in the slot. And then how close are the ones for number 8? The vegan layer, less close, but still within the range of getting bumped out. So cool. So we could get, if it landed right now, we'd get Den's Got Talent. Was that the one on unique votes? Yeah. Den's Got Talent, vegan, and Pakistan. Somebody was talking about the vegan layer, how it would be a good source of like, hey, I want to buy something that is not animal related. How do I buy furniture as a vegan? That kind of thing.
When does voting end again?
In 5 days, 23 hours, 36 minutes, and 1 second.
Cool.
I'm still hoping for Star Wars.
Yeah, I like Star Wars a lot. So that's something. Obviously, I've got my votes in already. I hate
that stuff. It's so few people put in, I guess.
I don't care. How do I get out of this? Withdraw right there. Let me withdraw. You can. Yeah, you can withdraw. And there's no fees. You can put your lore in and out however much you want. So if you want to get some extra. I've got a ton of lore right now.
Yo, put it all in Star Wars. Can we make that number 1? I've got another. I just put in like 100,000 into Star Wars. I'm willing to put in another 40,000 into Star Wars right now.
Well, that's not going to help it win though.
Why?
Because number 1 by lore is not a winner. Number 1 by unique voters is a winner. Number of voters is what counts.
So it's
right?
only unique voters?
So number one only by unique voters is the number one winner. Now, by lore, by votes, if you ignore how many voters are in it, that's the one where it's actually number 8 and 21.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I'll tell you why if you're curious.
You can tell me, and I will tell you why it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That's fantastic. Let's do it. So the reason why is for months when we ran this, we had the number one by unique voters and the number one by lore committed, and it always ended up being the same one. And so only one layer won every single time, because every time there was like a number like over in unique voters, right? It's like, oh, that one's obviously going to win. Let me throw some lore in there so that I have some ownership of it. Everybody would do that because they knew it was going to win, which in effect would make the one in the other category bump up to number one. So you were never able to get 2 category winners. So we started digging down and getting them deeper. We tried out different numbers, 5 and 13, 8 and 21, stuff like that, to get some variety in there. That's what it was about, getting some variety.
I remember that, but wasn't it always like number one with lore, and then it was like unique voters was the other one?
No,
that was changed.
No, you had it backwards.
Actually, I thought John was correct there. I thought number one with lore and number one with unique voters, and sometimes it was the same.
Yeah, it was the same.
So in other words, you could have unique voters as number one would get a lair, and the number one lore would also get a lair. So for example, let's say that Star Wars had the most, lore, and astronomy had the most unique voters. Both of those would get in.
Right, but that would never happen because people would throw in on the one that was winning, and it would make the other category adjust accordingly.
I see.
It's literally happening right now, where it's not the same though, right? Like unique voters and lore are 2 different things.
Okay, until this has got 5 days left, right? Until the last day, when people see, after a week of voting, when people see what's going to win, you get a widening range. Like this is 37 and 35 right now, right? This might end up being 38, which will bump it up to number one, which if it does would be the same one over in both categories. This is pretty close. 35 and 37 is pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
So I would imagine, and let's try it out. This is going to end in 5 days, in 6 days. When it does, I'll wager. I will bet. How's that? I'll bet something substantial. I'll bet like about 350 matter that both the lore and the unique voters will end up the same in the end.
Oh, that'd be good. You know what? That would be
hits.
good in the contest layer.
Okay.
You know what?
Betting on who's going to win what?
Yeah.
Well, I can't just wager it. I got to bet with somebody who's also got 350 matter to lose, though. So if anybody wants to take me up on that,
no, just wager it, and if you're wrong, you have to give it to me.
But that's the reasoning. That's the reason we made the change, though.
350 matter is like $1. So
John is the house. John wins.
About 350. Yeah.
It's
$1, sure, but it's more than $1. It's like a whole bunch of posts and a whole bunch of edits and a whole bunch of replies where you can interact on Den more, and it earns you more lore from the farming and stuff like that. So it isn't just that it's $1; it's also the value of the utility that comes with it. It gives you a bigger
$2.
voice.
It's $2.
So the other thing I was going to say is I think next month we've seen like in the beginning we had like 5 or sometimes 10 layers in a month, and then we reduced that down and we brought it back up, and we've been using the metric we've been using, or the signal we've been using to decrease or increase the number of layers that are created each month has been do you know about the runners up option? Like if you don't get in the unique voters category, if you don't get the winner, you can actually pay a fee, 200 matter to get the second one, 400 matter to get the third one, all the way down to 5th runner up. And so we haven't gotten anybody buying those in the last several months, which signals that maybe we're creating too many. And then the opposite end, if we do have people that continue buying them every month over month, it signals that we're not creating enough. It gives us something to signal from. So we're probably going to propose to go back down to 1 and 1 for January. So look for that proposal. And you can vote against it, but it's probably going to be the next proposal for changing in January. Unless somebody buys a layer, and then it throws that off, and maybe we won't. So just a heads
when
up
you
on
buy
that.
a layer, though, you're not going to get any extra ownership in that layer. I think that's probably another reason for it not to happen.
Right. Well, also, like, really, it's just saying, like, you would buy one because maybe you didn't want to wait another month, another 2 months, another 3 months for it to cycle through. And it's like, just give me the damn layer. That's what it's about. So if there isn't that, that's happening, then it seems like we either have the right amount or maybe too many.
It also keeps your percentage where it is. So if you wait another month, like, that's giving more time for other people to buy into the layer. Therefore, your percent of ownership could go down.
That's true too, because a lot of these started out at like 13%, like astronomy, astrophotography, that kind of thing. I remember in the beginning, I was like, because I'm kind of a lore whale at this point, and I don't want more than half of a layer, right? I don't want like my vote to be overriding. It doesn't seem fun to me. And so I was like, okay, I wanted to make sure I remember my number being like less than 20%, or like 21% was okay because I like the number 21, but no more than that. And so all of these started out that way, and they've all gone down to some of them less than 1%.
Because more people are adding their.
So that's a good point, John. It would be a way to like lock in, like if I wanted to bump my percentage up and then pay the fee, that'd be it. That would be it.
So 2023, I have a New Year's resolution I'm going to share.
Okay. That sounds
I believe I'm going to start 2023 a channel, but I'm going to focus more on Odyssey and Rumble because of censorship.
I've thought of that.
And
too,
I'm gonna key in on parallel economy, parallel projects, parallel agorism, these types of things. It's kind of becoming a buzzword in certain circles, building a parallel economy because of censorship. But unfortunately, it's got that Republican conservative feel, and that's not me. Maybe fiscally, but socially, I don't fit with conservative Republican at all.
You're just trying not to make it about that necessarily.
Yeah.
I think I would love to see that happen, and I would follow that what you did there, because I've thought some of the same things about the parallel economy thing is something that I talk about a lot, but my related New Year resolution would be to actually participate more and do the things more instead of just speculating and talking and hypothesizing and saying, oh, this exists and it's available. Well, at some point, if we don't start doing it,
right,
like,
because that's the only way we're going to beat a corrupt system, in my opinion. So anyway, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do and highlight that.
Well, I'll support you. I got LBC.
Which
I got
brings
some library coins. I'll
kind of like what
put them on your videos.
Thanks, like what Lisa's done too. Creating the mighty Lisa layer.
Yeah.
Hey, cool. Nomadic Gear. Hello, all.
So
Jacob Wayne.
So I have a New Year's resolution. I think I'm gonna do next year. I'm gonna create a parallel show to everybody else's shows.
Cool.
So there's gonna be instead of coffee with Den, it's gonna be coffee with hens. I'm just gonna have a bunch of chickens running around in my living room.
We're gonna just pour coffee on them.
Instead of World Blockchain Roundtable, it's gonna be Legos on a square desk. And then
because those are blocks.
Yeah, and then parallel to I Am for I Am show, Uh, I'm just I'm just gonna talk. I'm gonna just take his show and put it on my show with a different overlay.
Just
Nice.
download it, put a filter
Yeah,
on it, put it back
Eh,
up.
but then I'm gonna put it on YouTube and Facebook.
Okay, since he's not going to be there,
Yeah.
Well,
you'll
my
reap
show's
the-
going to be my channel's going to be called T Swift or Live.
It's not as catchy. Doesn't like roll off the tongue as well. So yeah, that's my New Year's resolution is to create a parallel show to everybody else's show.
If you do a live show, it can be T Swift or live. Da-dum.
That
That's
is
as
true.
good. That's as good as the AI jokes.
I'm gonna say that's better. That's better than the AI jokes. The AI jokes weren't jokes. It was just a driving class. Like it wasn't anything special.
They're still overloaded too. I just checked. Oh well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's back. It is back.
See, John doesn't get overloaded, but AI does. What does that tell you?
John runs on coffee and AI doesn't.
Yes.
I
So,
wonder if
what's
it'll
your
tell me this.
what's a new resolution for you, Dave? That you want to share?
Well, I was piggybacking yours, but that's really what it is. There's a lot of things that I've either prototyped in my mind to see if they would work, or on paper, or written a short little okay, here's function, like tested things to make sure that they work as advertised. But I'm gonna be using more decentralized tools to do the tasks that I currently do with centralized tools. Some of that would be like file storage. I got to get off of Google. I got to de-Google. That's a big one for me. I just got to get my life out of their AI, including my documents in my Drive and my collaboration in Google Chat and my calendaring and all of that stuff. I don't know. I just want to, and I haven't because it's so freaking convenient at the moment. You know what I mean? It just works so well. And so it sticks me in there. So I want to get out of that, and I want to start using more just alternative tools to do the same tasks that I already do.
I love how we have Gravity Crab's camera on this entire time.
Right.
It's kind of like his hummingbird thing, where it's like those cameras in the wild that just constantly sits on a bird's nest, or it's like, oh, here's the panda camera at the San Francisco Zoo. This is just this is the same thing but for fucking nerds.
That's funny.
It's the inside of a tech shop.
Yeah.
You always see the gravity crab in his natural habitat.
You need the commentary of like bird watching and stuff.
Was that your David Attenborough?
Yes, that was my David Attenborough. That was the best I could do.
Hey, I'm not even going to try it, so you're better than me.
What's funny is they do actually have a I can't see it here, but they have a John, you've seen it, the hummingbird camera. Where it's just like, I don't even know what country it's in, but it's like 3 or 4 hummingbird feeders, and there's usually a dozen hummingbirds, and then every now and then you see somebody come up and change the feeders and and it's just going 24 hours probably on a particular screen they have in their workshop.
Yeah.
I like Nomadic Gear's suggestion, decentralizing Dave.
That is cool. That is a great idea.
Here's a follow-on additional thing for New Year's resolution. I do want to do a pre-recorded show that I make and edit. This is great because we can hang out and chat, and it's like mostly for me because I like doing it. If I'm being honest, I like meeting up with friends and talking about stuff, and so why not just do it once a week live, that kind of thing. But at the same time, there's specific topics that I could do where I actually cut down, edit the video, take out the, you can take out of a 2-hour Coffee with Den episode, you could take out an hour and a half and make a 30-minute recap of just the interesting points or something like that.
Mhm.
Probably 10 minutes if I'm being honest. But that's the idea, is I could do a decentralizing Dave. That's a good name for it. I could do one based on my experiences and why it was difficult to do this or that. Like Sea Skynet. I keep trying to use Skynet for storage, for like serving files, and they just keep changing the rules. Like now, like you got to be logged in to even access a file, whereas before I could put a file on there like an image, and I could use that as a host to put it in a Den post instead of using like Google Drive or finding it on someone's website or whatever. And like it worked for a while, but then it didn't reliably work the same way all the time.
Right.
So there's ways around that. Like I could run my own portal. I could link it differently, but all of these things would be good for like an edited post-produced video on how to do those things and how to get around some of the problems that people would run into, because none of it's easy right now. And I guess that would be my angle, right?
Sure.
Which is like, none of this is easy. So anybody who's interested in using it before it's like mainstream is probably going to want to watch a video of somebody who knows how to use it with recommendations on exactly how to use it.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. So that's my kind of thing. Actually start doing the things, and then do a series that's maybe it's twice a month, maybe it's not every week, but is pre-recorded, and maybe some interviews too. I know Hyperion Frequency wanted to do some interviews.
Decentralizing Dave too could be just a segment on your Coffee with Den. It'd be another show within a show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not a segment. I mean,
into a show within a show.
Yeah, there's like a 5-minute like video in the middle of it when we go fill our coffee again.
Yeah, because I need more than a minute sometimes.
That reminds me, I have another show. It's called T Swifter Dow.
Cool.
And it's just me filling backpacks and putting them around New York City of different things I own. Kind of like Spider-Man, if you ever played the Spider-Man video game. Yeah, I'm just going to fill up backpacks of my stuff and put it around the city. So whenever I need something, it's near
It's just
me.
there. Yeah. Oh, I got a backpack over on 23rd and A.
No, that's too suspicious. That's too suspicious.
It's got a change of socks, toothpaste, and one of those cats that you buy in Chinatown that just go like this.
You know what you just mentioned that reminded
a lot
me
of dumb shit. But all right.
Here's one that I never did. Your joke earlier was about you can't wait to make New Year's resolutions that you give up on and don't complete.
Yes.
Here's one from 2022 that I can do in 23 because I didn't do it this year. Digital geocaching.
Oh.
I want to take. So there's a bunch of metaverses and stuff, right? But there's also a bunch of persistent universe multiplayer games that people don't consider a metaverse, like No Man's Sky. And No Man's Sky is great because you can, it's freaking infinite, first of all. So you can hide stuff anywhere, and then nobody's going to find it unless you do a little video saying, here's where it's at, that kind of thing. So I want to hide seed phrases for wallets that contain cryptocurrency on a planet in a video game that people could stumble upon, and then drop hints like a geocaching, like a goose hunt or something, where you go track it down and find it. And I
all
want to
in the same world
contests
or multiple ones. Like
so
I'm gonna find Stump on Metaverse 1, and I'd find Ribbon on Metaverse 2.
Yeah, that kind of thing. It would be, for me, what I want to do is I want to do it all in No Man's Sky, because I want to do it in a place and in a setting that is not considered like weird crypto blockchain metaverse stuff, because people are like, I don't care about that. Mm-hmm. And the people that do care about that are already working on it, right? So they can do that. Where I feel like I can contribute is like, it would be fantastic to get the gaming layer a more better community kind of thing, right? It would be even more fantastic to get like a lively, thriving No Man's Sky layer on Den the way that it is on Reddit or on the app they have, or that kind of thing.
Right.
So since that's one of my favorite games, and I've been playing it since it launched, since day one. I have the resources to go anywhere and do anything in that game. So why don't I set up? You can set up races where everybody races and wins matter, right? That's one of my things that I started, never completed. I got some help with a couple of friends to build it, but never finished it, right? We got a racetrack and we never planned a race, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But I could then, it's sort of like indirect advertisement for Den in a way, because I'll give away, we'll conduct it in a layer, in a post that lays out the contest rules. We'll give away matter, for example, give away lot, maybe ownership, maybe some ether as well, just to make it, like this wallet comes with some ether and then like a fuck ton of matter if you win this first place or whatever.
Right.
So that's definitely something that I'm doing in 2023 that I meant to do this year and just got doing other stuff and didn't do it. And I think that'll be a lot of fun. Going into shared universes that are persistent, literally leaving money on the floor, and then giving people like hints on how to find it or win it, that kind of thing.
Wow. Yeah. A seed phrase would be difficult just because you got to get the right order, though. So you'd have to really write the hints correctly.
So what I'm imagining is there's a little, you can put down a thing that's a message box. So let's say I have like a base or something in No Man's Sky, and somebody stumbles upon it. They find it. I'm not there. I'm at work, right? I haven't logged in for 2 weeks.
Right.
But what they can do is they can leave a little message pod. And in that message pod, you can just write free-form text. Hey, what's up? Nice base. Like what you did here. My gamer tag is this. If you want to hang out sometime, peace. So instead of that, I can write apple, ribbon, camouflage, boo-boo, baba, whatever the seed phrase is. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Okay. Cool.
Or half of the seed phrase on one planet, and then half on the other planet, or something like that.
Yeah.
Or half that you have to win from winning a race or something. So something like that. And then we can design that together if anybody plays that game. Yeah. I got a couple of friends that are into it.
I was listening to Lex Friedman podcast, and he was interviewing one of the original investors, executives with Facebook, and he's of Indian descent. I think he grew up in Canada. I can't remember. He's a billionaire now and a philanthropist. Anyway, I can't remember his name. It's a difficult name to pronounce. Anyway, they asked him, would you do it over again? Would you create a social media site? And he said, no, I think a bigger impact to society is actually content providers. Because there's a thirst for information, a thirst for knowledge gain, these types of things, a thirst for wisdom that others can impart. And he said that's where I would channel my energy if I was going to do it over again.
Was he talking about
in this
providers
time period,
in the context of like how an FM radio station will plug in different pieces of content from different shows to make a thing?
Yes, he was thinking of that. Rather than, say, building an FM station, he would be building more, content. He would find like raw young talent and give them the space to work in.
Gotcha. And well, the problem with raw young talent is that oftentimes they don't have their own funding, so he would need money.
True. Well, that's what. Well, he's a billionaire, so.
Oh well, there's that.
Yeah. Oh well, there's that.
Okay. Well, in that case,
you
can do a lot of shit.
Money see what. What sticks.
If I was a billionaire, bro, dude, I would do some shit. Let me tell you. Because then you can just hire people to do stuff you don't have time for. And
I would bail out.
Bring it to me when you're done, so I can review it and be like, "Yep, that's what I was needing," and I'll go do something else productive while you do that. Like that's what I need is $1 billion. And then
if I was a billionaire, I would bail out SBF.
He finally got arrested.
Yeah, I think he's going to Epstein himself.
Maybe, I don't know, man. It's weird that it's weird that it took so long, but that's not. It didn't even. the only reason I think it took so long, like I don't think it did take so long, is my point. I think that the pace of the internet and the pace of like especially cryptocurrency and stuff like that and news cycles, like in the past, we would have probably not even found out until we got the Sunday paper or something and was like, oh, there's this big story. Like news moved slower. And the report might have said, and they were arrested, but that could have been a week apart before the story came out. Now it's like Twitter, like what's happening right now. So we feel like shit's taking way too long, and it is taking too long, but we feel like it takes longer than it actually does. So I don't know. I don't think it was that long of a period. They probably had to get their ducks in a row, do some investigating, which they did, do some court filings, which they did, hire a new CEO to look over everything, which they did, and then say, okay, here's the grounds we're going to arrest him on. So it was probably within a decent time period, if I had to opine.
So I came up with another thing I'm gonna do.
Cool.
Next year. I'm gonna do some digital geocache. I'm gonna do some digital geocaching in person. I'm just gonna walk around with calculators and throw them at people. It's called geocaching. Digital geocaching. Digital geocaching. And on each calculator, I'm gonna have a different word written.
Yeah, like we're upside down that says boobs or something.
I'm gonna be honest, most of them are gonna be upside down boobs. But yeah, it's gonna be great. Walk around New York City, throwing calculators at people and hiding backpacks. It's gonna be a wild year, so get ready for it. There it is.
Looking forward to it. I got a feeling though you're going to create a problem with all these backpacks that are just, laying around without any name tags or anything on them. It's going to be very suspicious.
Don't do it at an airport.
No.
Don't do that. Or a train station, probably. I do have a recommendation for New Year's resolutions from the AI bot, though.
Oh,
okay.
Cool.
Give it to me.
So ChatGPT says, a good New Year's resolution for 23 is to focus on personal growth and development. This could include setting goals for yourself and working towards achieving them, learning new skills, and trying new things. Other good resolutions for the new year include focusing on your health and well-being, building and strengthening relationships with friends and family, and giving back to your community. Ultimately, the best New Year's resolution is one that is personal and meaningful to you. So that's like horoscope quality, I would say. Right?
Yes.
Newspaper horoscope quality.
Yes.
Or it follows and it's good and it's interesting and it applies to anyone who's reading it. And so they can say, oh, that's accurate. That kind
horoscope word salad.
Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. I'm glad that the AI bot stopped being overloaded and recovered from the abuse. Well, what else is going on, man? We're drawing towards the end of the show, so if there's anything we want to chat about at all this year, last chance to get it.
The world's going to end at 5 p.m. News at 11.
News at 11. Let's see what else is on Den. So we got the LCPN. We talked about that. Are there any governance? Nope, no governance issues to show. There is a Den.DAO governance. Oh, it resolved. Never mind. So that's no longer a thing. We're going to change the eventually when we get through the part where we're updating the notifications system. Somebody wanted the blue dot to be red instead. So we were like,
I like blue. John, you have such influence on Dan. I need your help, dude. Oh, I just remembered.
There you go. I knew you were going to remember that as soon as I said that. Yeah.
You got influence. Remember how we lost? What was it? It was the icons that were gone.
Yeah, the navigation.
We lost the names.
Single-handedly brought these back.
So wait, what's the blue dot? What the fuck are they talking about?
Well, like if you get a notification, there's a little blue dot on the bell.
They want it to be red.
They want it to be red because they said everything's blue, and so they don't notice the notification because it's also blue. Everything turns blue.
I like blue. I like blue. I don't like red. Red's like I agree with Joe. Red means like problem, error. But
well,
anyway.
I don't think the vote, now that I think about it, specified what color it will be. There's a discussion though. What does it say? Still okay. Make notification more visible by making it a red dot instead of blue. When I'm using Android, I miss it because of the blue color. Hence, more louder color should do the trick, and we could display the so it could just be a more loud color. It doesn't have to be blue. So we could make it purple. We could go with purple.
Well, I'm okay with that. I'm opposed to red.
Okay,
but I'll have to comment that.
Take that into consideration. Yeah.
But can you click on layers? Because I need John to step in on this. He is the man that can get this done. I have to convince John. John, now see if you want to go to World Blockchain Roundtable, you have to scroll all the way down, or you have to do Control F and search.
You just want a search function, right?
I want a search function at the top. Do you think you know somebody that knows somebody?
Look, I feel like we're fighting for the wrong things. Okay, we want like a different color dot under notifications, or we want like another search function. When we have a search function that works, just hit Command F or Control F or whatever is on your keyboard. Do that. I feel like we're not fighting for the right things, and what we should be fighting for:
world peace and dominance.
Nope. It's the right click in order to open it in a new tab. Okay, that's the annoying thing to me. You can't open these things in a new tab.
In this one interface with the layers is the only place you can do that.
Yeah.
It's not showing it on my screen right now, but it does say there is an open a new tab. But it's not for everything. It's only for some things.
Why isn't it for more things? Why is it only on this one page? Okay, that's what we should be fighting for.
Because that's how it is.
That's the good fight. Okay,
that's how it is.
If we want equality among layers, that's what we need.
I want to find the layer first, and then I want equality.
Well, there is a now I will start this off with saying that we've taken a way longer than we wanted to with what's currently being worked on, and there's a lot of reasons for that. A lot of those reasons that we're working on several things at once, not just in, and that's sapped our dev resources, including the SEC thing, including some of the Dragon Chain customers that needed help. That was like we're sharing some resources basically, but let's see, prioritization vote. There is a prioritization vote thing in here, I think, for quality of life update. Market features, flags, notification update. So this is the one that'll go into refactoring how notifications works and being able to at people and, to summon Denizen into the thread, that kind of thing. Cross-posting, bookmarks, translation, layer poll. So it's not in here, but I thought there was like a general quality of life, a QOL update. And we could actually combine like bookmarks and maybe translation features or something into a QOL update where we can do the right clicking, open a new tab, search layers, or make that easier, just quality of life stuff. And the easiest thing I think to be able to do with layers would be to add like an alphabet at the top. So if you knew you want to go to the World Blockchain Roundtable, you could just click on W.
Yeah.
Or you could have it tabbed, or maybe and is not the right word, or maybe or is not the right word and it's an and. You could also do tabs. So at the top, there's layers you're subscribed to, and you have to scroll way down to the end of the alphabet to get to the end. And then it says,
layers are not.
Wait for it. Explore layers. Right? That could just be another tab at the top, sort of how the GI, like the governance things are, where you can go through different tabs to different categories. And then, a search function just to find the right layer. Right now, Den's like primary, like full user experience thing is use it from the desktop, in which case you need to learn how to use your shortcut to find in screen. You can do it on your phone too. It's just a little bit more cumbersome. So it's like a quality of life. It's an ease of use thing. So I think that's probably what we should do. Is like all of those things are
like almost 150 layers now. So
yeah, it's adding up. Yep.
So John, I understand your point. You would like new tabs, simple, easy to open. Okay, maybe we can negotiate. I will help push for that if you'll also help push for search bar, okay?
All right.
We'll come to some kind of agreement here.
Oh, I'm pro search bar. I'm not search bar.
Okay.
I'm just saying I want my right clicks. That's all I want.
Search bars and right clicks, ease of use, convenience, efficiency.
Yeah.
I know you, John. You know people
for?
in high places and can get this done.
It needs to be intuitive.
You've been
That's
effective in the past, and
Gravity Crab seems to be returning back to his original state.
Well, with that Attenborough impression and with Gravity Crap coming back in, what's up, dude? We've been watching you like the bird feeder video where you
wait, really?
Watching
me go around doing stuff in the background.
Yeah. Welcome back to the end of the show.
Had a very nice customer that is been having a pretty rough time, so I sat outside and had to have a nice meeting.
Yeah,
but that's
you're
fine.
a good person,
and she's also a really nice lady.
Nice.
So, last thing, we're gonna wrap up and go like now. But do you have any New Year's resolutions for yourself that you want to share with us?
Yeah, there's 2 more Saturdays or 2 more Wednesdays until New Year's, right?
Yeah, that's true. But we're not going to be doing them here with coffee because I'm going to be in Germany.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so this is our last one for the year.
And then I'm going to be in Prague for the next one, and then I'll be back.
I don't know. Let's see. What should people do this year? Maybe try spending a year. I'm going to spend a year. I don't even know if I have a resolution.
Well, no disappointments then when you don't do them.
Maybe I'm just going to try to be less of a dick to people. That'd be good.
That sounds like a good one for everybody who is a dick to people.
Yeah, be less of a dick to people.
I've got a resolution as well. I'm gonna create a show where I'm just a little bit less of an asshole to people.
Just a little bit.
It's Johnny on the street, and I just walk around and I'm like, hey, shoes aren't the worst.
Could be better.
It's just like it's not a compliment.
Yeah,
but
you're
it's
doing all right.
Not necessarily an insult.
You could pick it up a little bit, but you're doing all right.
I did
like joggers.
I did a thing in High Springs when we were actually. I think I knew you at this point in time, Dave. But me and Dom drove around and we yelled at people. It was like Christmas time, so we yelled at people just compliments at their house.
Yeah,
but as angry as we could. So like we'd pull up to somebody's Christmas lights and they'd be on the porch like, hey, the lights are fantastic. And they'd just be looking at us like, what the fuck, dude? Like, are you okay?
That was a thing for a while on YouTube.
That was fun. We had a lot of fun.
People would record themselves doing drive-by compliments, which is where I got the idea from, and which is why I did that too in like Williamsburg, Virginia. I remember one time with my friends driving around, just stupid shit to entertain ourselves. Hey, nice backpack. Or, I like hats too.
You have a lovely hat.
Yeah. So, no.
All right. I guess I got to change my fucking show now.
To drive-by compliments?
Because it's already been done.
It's already been done.
A show where John meanders around in New York and talks to people would probably be a lot of fun.
So if I follow that New Year's resolution, Gravity Crab, then when someone interacts with me and says, you're an asshole, I'll say, well, I was a bigger asshole yesterday.
Perfect.
That's
just how you're going to get. I'm trying. I'm a recovering asshole.
Yeah.
Recovering asshole.
I'm getting better. I'm usually a dick.
I'm so much worse usually. Like if you think you don't like me now, you couldn't imagine. Like
you should have seen me yesterday.
Yeah, you should have seen yesterday. New Year's resolutions works, asshole.
Oh man.
Oh shit.
All right, y'all. Happy New Year's. Happy holidays. Be safe. Have a great trip. All the things that Hyperion Frequency just said. I'll still be on Den. So we can chat in the coffee layer. I just won't be in the same time zone to be able to do things unless it's in the middle of the night for me or something. So we can still talk on Den. if you want to roll into a conversation about the future of fusion energy and what that means for Bitcoin mining or something, we can have that as a coffee chat thing.
Cool.
If you write something up in a different layer and you want to talk about that with your coffee friends, which is basically me and Hyperion Frequency and Jacob Wayne and John and I Am for I Am and Gravity Crash.
It's like, hello?
Saying names. Hey, don't feel bad about being last on the list. That's what you get for sitting out half the show. Come on.
Hey.
It was way more than half the show. Just
dude, it sucks. I hate doing it, honestly. I miss being here for the whole damn things.
But yeah,
the only tech kind of blows.
You can link to something or cross post it into the coffee layer too, and we'll chat about it. We'll have a convo.
Yeah, if you did coffee when you're in Germany, you'd have to do it from 3 to 5.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do that. I don't think that my my in-laws want me to do that either at their house. Like 3 a.m. Like, hey, what's up, everybody?
That's 3 afternoon.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah,
see, I don't know
and just
how
do like
time zones
you
work.
could do like an hour-long show, so that way you don't have to worry about like it's like gives you a break from the in-laws. Sorry, I gotta go work.
Yeah,
Right.
That's not a bad idea. If you
They don't
decide to do an
speak English
impromptu
anyway.
show, if you decide to do an impromptu show from Germany, I don't care what time you decide to do it. Let me know. I'll wake up.
Yeah, I'll hit you up. I'll
Yeah.
let you know.
It sounds like it would be cool.
I'll post it in the coffee layer so that it's the thing I decided. If it's the thing I decide to do, I'll let you know.
And definitely send us post all kinds of cool pictures, man.
Yeah, they would just hear me speaking a foreign language that they don't speak because most of them don't speak English, and I have to go to my poor wife to translate everything.
I kind of like the idea of just
'Cause
hearing
I'm too
4
lazy.
people speaking English and then just a bunch of German in the background.
Yep. Hi, John.
Well,
All right. That guy's name is John too.
That's the other John. Yeah.
I just want to say happy holidays. Please be safe on all your travels, and give warm hugs to your friends and family that accept hugs. Don't do anything more that create problems. Don't be an asshole, in other words.
Yeah, if they don't like hugs, don't force them to hug you.
Yeah.
Unless they're like a terrible family member and making them uncomfortable gives you a little bit of joy.
There's Rice Crypto has an end quote. I like it. Be the glitch in the matrix you want to see. Isn't that great?
I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah. So anyway, I enjoy this, every Wednesday, gentlemen, and all those out there. I have a lot of fun. It's always been fascinating fun to listen and watch and all that good stuff. But I appreciate all of you.
Well, you've been an absolute blast the whole time we've had John here. And thanks for being me when I'm not here. Speaking of which, I'm being dragged away again. So you all have a wonderful Christmas and a good day.
Bye,
Same
David.
to you.
Yeah, thanks for being the voice of reason, John. T Swift or Die there. Appreciate that. And shout out to Playa Linda Brewing Company. Go watch some rocket launches and have a beer. Have a good one. Have a great one. Have a fantastic one. While I'm just stalling. I had to find the button. There we go. This is a song by Y'all Weird called Into the Dragon. Bye.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best.
Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. A doctrinal approach is palpable if this animal is fallible. But that conclusion is laughable, so with for all detachable from the mandible. You see it now?